Good afternoon. I'm just doing a little bit of line practice. So I'm just connecting some curved lines, as many as possible. There's no real, it's not a piece of art as such, it's just practice, fine tune the hand-eye coordination. Some are good and some are not that good, but that's okay. I try not to cross them. However, that's not easy. When you get so many. And if you're familiar with my channel, you're probably thinking, what is he doing? I've never seen him do this stuff before. It's true, because I don't do this very often. But every now and again I need to practice certain things, and this is one way I practice my strokes without too much risk of messing something up. And I find it helps me later on when I have to do shorter lines, because I'm used to doing really long ones, you see. So that's the reason why I do these really long ones. They are more risky purely because you have to try and get that nice arc, which isn't that easy. However, I find it helps me when I do shorter arcs because I've practiced with the longer ones. So that's basically what I do. Today I'm just I just want to do something that I don't really have to think too much about. So instead of doing nothing, I just do an exercise like this. You can't even practice without watching something. Well, you're watching me, I suppose. That's why I hate having ADHD. Oh, okay, I get you now. Okay. Yeah, it is linear perspective. I suppose you could say that, but it's not strictly perspective. It's just line practice, really, for me. Yeah, it's because I know you've got these. I think it's 5-point perspective where you've got this kind of linear stuff, but it's not strictly that. No, it's just literally me practicing. So like now I'm going to try and keep these nice and parallel, and you have to fine tune your eye, you have to really try and like so. But it's just a good bit of practice if you just want to improve your stroke. There's no way you can really get it wrong, So even if you overlap something, it's not a disaster. And in some cases it looks quite cool because it's not like we're not robotic or we're not robots. So at some point we're going to wobble. and I haven't got a plan. It's literally, I'm just like, okay, let me just put everything in one point, or make everything display from one point, you know. So it's not like I really wanted a specific goal to be achieved. And I haven't got the camera on, so you guys can see a bit closely what I'm doing. And this pen is not working very well. I have to say, it's feeling a bit strange. Yeah, I might have to swap that. Ah, that's true actually. Jasper, yeah, that's true. Have you ever used? Yes, I used to love using charcoal. I was quite good with charcoal actually. But I mainly, I've actually used oils and watercolor. But that's just that's like private quest, you know. I didn't go to school to learn it. But I was quite good at charcoals. But the images that I used to like doing were nudes. And I don't think it would be, I don't know if you're allowed to put those on or draw things like that on TikTok. They're a bit funny like that. Oh, my eyes are going funny now as well. Talking of funny. And it does look like a magnetic, as you say, did you say a magnetic vortex? Let me see. Wait. Yeah, magnetic field. Yeah. Been a while, it has been. Where have you been, Milan? I think I do. I don't know what I'm drawing. What have you been up to? Where have you been hiding? I'm just doing a bit of line practice, basically, and hoping something good will come of it. They usually come out quite good, actually. And, you know, there's no fixed goal, so I can always blag it and say I hoped it would turn out that badly. I just have to keep a convincing face. Dirty lad. You're busy in school? Okay. Yeah, I'll be back to work soon myself. What are you studying, by the way? I think, mate, what's wrong with these pens today? None of them are working. It must be the weather, maybe. Maybe it's a bit too cold. Yeah, this one is far too light. This one is a lot darker. I'm going to have to... Oops. Shut off the paper there. Oh, I strayed. Oh, that was a bad one. Lost my concentration on that one. Oh, another mistake. There's two there. Well, that's what I do when I don't know what to practice. I just draw something like that. Ah, becoming a maritime officer. Wow, that sounds interesting. The holidays. Okay. And where are you studying that? Studying that on a cruise ship. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, they are a bit fumbled, but you know, they are a bit fumbled, but that's all right. I don't really mind. As I say, it's practice. It's not as easy as it looks. I might do some after this. I might just draw some anatomy or something because this is like my practice session, and then I'll just draw something to do with the anatomy. I feel I need to do something a bit more challenging where it takes a little bit more concentration. And people say to me, "Oh, how do you become secure with the pen? Drawing with the pen? You just draw with the pen all the time, make mistakes with the pen all the time, and then all of a sudden you don't even recognize them anymore, or you get better to the point that you don't worry about them because you don't make as many." So that's how you get confident with the pen. Hold on. Yeah, copying that's what anything works really. Whatever you feel like doing, but I usually do something like that, like this, that doesn't require any kind of. It does require concentration, but it doesn't require me to really study something, you know. So I'm not really worried if I really make a mistake on it. I'm just like, oh, whatever. But I think this is looking quite nice, actually. To be fair, I think it's quite nice. Takes a bit of patience and concentration, definitely. Using a pen needs a lot of practice because yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, probably my favorite art style. Hold on, let me. I'm missing something. Enjoy sketching, anime. Okay, yeah, yeah. This is why I like the cheap old biros. They're quite good. Okay, well, we can probably do some anatomy stuff in a minute. Four dot. You remember I call you four dot. What are you doing anime now, or are you doing something else? Nah, these you just buy from the supermarket. These are literally from the supermarket. Then they're nothing special, and the reason why I like them is because they don't have these blots of ink. You know, they're quite reliable, I find. Put a bit of green in there. Oops. Oh, I think this green pen's dying as well. I'm killing the pens today. Good morning, Cranky. How you doing? This is not intricate. This is just mumbo jumbo. It's just mumbo jumbo. It's not intricate at all. Anyone could do this. Literally anyone could do this. And I would suggest that you get children to do it. They love this. How's the spilling of the inks with this pen? It doesn't spill. It's just a Bic. It's just a Bic pen. Just a Bic. No spilling, luckily. You know, like the old days, they used to have these blobs. Luckily, they don't do that anymore. So you see, like when I do techniques like this helps when I want to hatch. This helps a lot when I want to practice my hatching, because I just do this and really long strokes. But when I'm drawing hair or the body, and I want to like show muscle definition and stuff like that, this is when this technique comes in handy. So a lot of people might think, what's he doing, this is rubbish, whatever, but it's not. This is the foundation to a lot of the things that I draw, because you get to perfect your stroke. So things like this should never be neglected. It's nice to draw things, but it's nice when you can really render them really accurately, you know. So if you don't practice this kind of thing, I'd suggest you practice it. Takes a little bit of patience, but it's worth it in the end. See, that's quite cool actually. It's a shame that I didn't get around this side. I might have to. And then you have to try and fill in the gaps. And try not to cross them too much. And then all of a sudden you start to recognize that you've got a favorable direction. Like I find that when I go from left to right, it's better. It feels better. So these, you can discover these little things as well when you do techniques like this. Nice to see you, Cranky. And thank you for your help the other day. Addis is in the house. Add a little shade in. Yeah, you could. I am just doodling, by the way. Yes, this is a doodle. My daily life in the basement with a lamp, just sketching, sculpting and painting. I think there are many people that agree with you on that one. 4 dot. If you, I like to add a character. I'll plot land away. It's chickens. I might enjoy this. I have no idea. So anyway, so I'm probably going to draw this to a close. Because I don't want to kill all my pens. But there you go. That, I think that looks quite nice actually. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Nothing fancy. A couple of dodgy lines there, but you know, we're only human. And you know, you could take a lot more time and make it look a lot more intricate. You could be doing this forever, couldn't you, really? I think it would be pretty cool to just fill the whole paper as much as you could. It'd probably take you about 20 hours. And yeah, maybe, but I think it would look quite nice. I'm trying to get this line here. There you go. Yeah. So like I said, when I sketch like things like this, if I practice shorter lines, this is where you get that accuracy that you need. You can vary it, you can widen it, but that's because of things like that. And obviously because I'm going over a wide area, it does take up a lot of wrist motion, and then it will wobble. But if you have to, you can draw quite accurate lines purely because you practice it. See, I'm just trying to go over the same line as many times as possible. See, so that's not too bad. It's not that bad. It's quite accurate, and that's what that's what I do as well. I draw a line. In fact, let me get rid of that. I like to draw a line like this. It doesn't matter how long or what curve. And I think, right, okay, I'm going to try and go over this same line 10 times, right? So I'm going to start here and finish here. See that? See, that's a good exercise, because you tune your eye and your wrist to go in the same spot. Do another one. We can do a straight one. See, so that's 10 again. And then you can go down. So this is just for your fine motor skills, where you go down. And then you can go, sometimes you have to work out if it's better for you that you go down or you go up. So I find that when I go down with the pen, it's better than if I go up. It gets a bit wobbly. You see that? See, that's where it bends, but when I go down, I've got more control over it. So just the little things like that you need to pay attention to. And obviously here I was messing around with some clothing, whatever. This is where you can start to use that skill to hatch things up. Because when you get a lot more confident when you do long distances like this, huge distances. When you do short distances like this, it's a lot easier. You're just cruising straight through it. So that's what I would suggest you practice, and that's why I would suggest you practice it. So there you go. It looks like an onion. Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. I'm liking the magnetic field, actually. I like that one. Looks like a turning train. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I get it. But it's interesting because I had no idea it was going to turn out like this. I had no idea that it would stimulate, It can stimulate so many things. And it's just a random image. Oh, I've got ink all over my hand. So bear that in mind. Just experiment with it. You could add crosshatch into this. You could literally just say, right, just do lines. Just literally draw lines like that randomly on the paper. This is great. A great exercise for crosshatching, because you're going to get into the motion of just simply drawing straight lines as parallel as possible. And you can really fine-tune your fine motor skills. And you can draw some really cool stuff like that as well. Circles are also really good to draw, where you just simply draw a million circles, chain them together, and just see, try and vary the size, and then maybe you say, right, I'm going to try and do some ovals. But do a whole sheet, you know, do a whole sheet of it, especially if you've got drawing block. That's what I would, when I get drawing block, I haven't got it today, but I'm just trying to think, what do I want to draw? I just do this as a warm-up exercise. I just say, right, I'm just going to do lines or circles, because these are the skills you're going to really have to have at some point. See, just practicing circles, and then maybe I'll go over it 5 times, and then it's like your body starts to fall into this pattern. See, that was 10 times. And then you just do smaller ones. Now it's a bit difficult because you have to work different skills. See, just circles. So that's what I would recommend you do. Good exercise. What I was drawing, I was just practicing lines really before Moser. I was practicing lines, and I'm just trying to encourage people to just, if you do get any kind of block, just fill a sheet with lines or fill a sheet with circles, because these are the tools you're going to need later on for when you draw something. So for example, I was just demonstrating some hatch techniques. That's coming from here, where I just literally draw shorter arcs. Do you see what I mean? And then you could say, okay, I want these to look like eyebrows, so then you make them look like eyebrows. You start to have a bit more control and know where and how to change the direction so it looks a bit more like hair and stuff like that. That's what I would encourage people to do. And circles as well. Practice straight lines. Try and keep the distances the same. See that? That's really important. You know, that's like, I don't know, let's call it, that's like salt in your meal. If it's missing, if it's wrong, it does look wrong. Because drawing is about lines, right? Try and draw parallel lines. Because it is challenging to do it. It's not easy. See, I did a mistake here, but they're looking good after that. You fall into the pattern, and then what you could do, if you've got these blue lines, you try and draw some red lines in between. So this is even more parallel, like so. Trying to squeeze it in between. See, so that is really fine tuning. Whoops, a little bit off there, but that's okay. That's what I would encourage you to do. The paper, this is it's quite good quality paper. It's 80-gram paper, but this is just photocopy paper. You don't need to use fancy paper for this. You can just use any old paper. What are we trying to learn? Well, I was trying to learn something. I was trying to practice my accuracy. See, that's what you do. You do one layer of blue, and then you try and fill it with some red. So for example, accuracy is important. And that's a skill you have to practice, as well as shading and stuff like that. You have to practice accuracy. And then you can, say for example, implement this kind of arc hatch to an object. You know, that's what you have to do, because these are the basic tools. This is the brand is a Swiss brand. It's called Carandage, and it's just a basic bic. It could be a basic bic. I don't have any fancy stuff, and I do that on purpose. I don't use fancy stuff, so anyone can do what I do. And if I draw something like, so for example, these were drawn with the same pens. I'll just draw, see, the hatching, this is where it comes in handy. So this is like a freestyle sketch of a hand holding something. And then this is where the hatch comes in. But I didn't take too much time. I was just freestyling it quite quickly, you know. Because when you work like this, these massive areas takes a lot of work. These shorter areas, you get a lot more comfortable when you work with the massive areas. Thank you about accuracy. Thank you, Tyler. Do you draw architecture? Isn't it funny? I studied architecture back in, when was that? Oh, that was at 87? I was studying to become an architect. And then the Iraq War took place. And then I lost my apprenticeship. And then after that, I went to university. And I studied design. So these are the funky arm drawings that I did quite a while ago with this twisted bone. I'm going to play around with that around Halloween time. I think I'm going to do something quite cool with these. But you can see the hatching comes in very handy again. So it's a skill that you're always going to have to use. These nice sweeping lines, you know. Instead of these really jagged, jagged lines, you can just say, okay, I need to follow this line. You just go, it's a nice clean line, you clean. That's the goal. That is the goal. So yes, to your question, I will be doing, I have to do it, I have to practice it myself, but I will look into more. I did a video the other day on 1 point. I've done a few on perspective actually, and it's just finding the time, mate. If I'm honest, it's just finding the time. I like teaching other people, but I also have to practice things for myself, because I've got my own goals as well. There you go. This is like learning from your art teacher. Well, Did you know that I am actually an art teacher, but I'm a little bit. I'm not really an art teacher. I just draw. I just teach people how to draw. I'm not a very good art teacher because I can't draw many things. Well, I say that. I can draw quite a few things, but I can't do like. I'm not very good at throwing things together. Like, I'm not very good at abstract. Not very good at abstract stuff. I'm kind of like, what do I do now? How should I splash this paint on here? I'm not very good at that. I'm better at drawing things, for example. And one of the things I do like to draw, I like to draw hands. I do like to draw hands. I should have actually drawn it holding an object. But you know what? No, I'm not going to do it now. I might even do a live stream in a minute. If anyone's interested, I might do one in a minute. I tend to do at the moment, I'm drawing the fingers a little bit too big because I'm drawing a lot of male figures at the moment. So then I always tend to draw the knuckles a little bit too heavy. So this is something I have to try and force out of my database. Drawing or building trees? Not sure. I've never built a tree. Maybe out of Lego it's easier. Oh, that's nice, Omni. Thank you very much. Gonna add a bit of black to this. And this is how I end up just doing a practice sheet. I just draw random things. Whatever springs to mind, I just draw it. And it's just nice sometimes just to zone out and experiment a bit, and you stumble across some good stuff. You know, sometimes you know it goes a bit wrong and you're not very good, but that's all right. It's all part of learning. Oh yeah, I draw from imagine. Yeah, I'm drawing from imagination as well. This is all for, you know, like sometimes I just get a bit wild now. I didn't do it on this one. I had no intention of of um of playing around with this one. But now you say talk drawing from imagination. So I've drawn this from imagination, and I'm thinking now, why not? Let me just do something creative with it, right? So I'm going to grab a different pen, and then I'm going to go, I don't know, I'm going to extend this finger if the pen works. Yeah. And like you, sometimes it would be like it could be a happy accident, or it can be absolutely terrible, and you think, oh, I wish I didn't do that. But that's all right. You just keep going, and you think, okay, let me see what I can do with that. So I'm going to just add. Now this is all, as you say, from imagination. So I should pay attention to the proportions a little bit. Let's see what turns up. So, and then I'm gonna try and extend this one out. I have no idea what I'm doing here, so please don't ask me. Don't say to me, well, why are you doing that? I have no idea. I'm just trying to be creative now, and hopefully I'll stumble across something that looks pretty cool. And I don't know why I've drawn skeletal hand, a skeletal hand now. Kinda weird. And you see, I'm not really worrying about if I make too many mistakes, you know. So bear that in mind. Sometimes, if you do make mistakes, just live with it and keep going. Don't ponder on it and think, oh, this is wrong. I wish I did that, you know, better. If it's a practice sketch, just keep soldiering on. You love studying that? Yeah, yeah. Anatomy's fantastic, mate. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've got some better stuff actually. If you want to see it, I can show you. But yeah, I've got some better stuff. You can barely draw a hand. Oh, I need to do a hand drawing tutorial, I think. I haven't done one for a while. So maybe what we can do is I'll sign this one off, log back in, and then I'll change the title so the algorithms can find me. We can do a hand drawing tutorial. I know sometimes people say, Art Walk, you're doing hands again. Yes, this is like a staple, um, live stream that I will always do. I will always draw hands because people struggle with hands. I struggle with hands as well. You know, it's sometimes I think, if you're doing some really serious foreshortening, it can be a bit tricky. But if you've got a few stepping stones, it does help. You know, you just have to know what stepping stones you've got and how to use them, and it can help a lot. So maybe I can do hand drawing. This is quite weird, isn't it? This is getting a little bit weird. This is really quite weird, but you know, never mind. That's just the way it is. You have to be weird to get involved in art, right? So there you go. Sorry to disappoint you all. I'm not your run-of-the-mill guy. There you go. I can't remember. This area here is a little bit of a mystery to me. I have to check that again. I know it's kind of like this. It's got some strange, I can't remember. And I know definitely that the bones do cross like that. So that part I'm pretty sure of. So that goes that way, and this one kind of goes this way. So now we've got this weird hand. I didn't add the thumb. Yeah, whatever. I'll leave it for now. Pretend we can't see the thumb. So there you go. A weird hand drawing tutorial. My favourite topic changes by the day. Sometimes I love drawing eyes. Sometimes I love drawing anatomy, hands. Like hands, I can get lost in drawing hands quite easily. And like now, I could probably even take this to another level. Now I can feel myself buzzing. Please show us. What should I show you, Leon? What do you want to know? What? See, because I can feel like now I'm like, oh yeah, I can add that to this and da da da. My brain's triggering now. Yeah, well, it's funny. Feet. I haven't done one on feet, but I really want to do a hardcore drawing on feet actually. But I mean a really good one. I've drawn a couple. Where's my folder gone? I'll have to find that folder with it in. I've drawn some good hands, but feet are not as complicated, I have to say. But hands are the most important one for me, just for me. And I don't mind. Is it Leon that asked? Really, Omni, mate? Are you following my my YouTube? Oh, there it is. There it is. If you're not following my YouTube, mate, you are on the wrong channels, mate. So we've got, this is a bit of a scrappy sketch. So we've got a couple of arm stuff here. A bit more hardcore. Legs. Now the legs, that's one of my strengths, I have to say. That is one of my strengths. This one is probably, this finger, I can't use it still. It's probably one of my proudest pieces at the moment. See that? That's the leg from the side. I was actually planning on drawing the ribs just as a little side project. So you've got another leg here, another leg here. I've got the back. We've got the back here. So I've got quite a few bits on human anatomy. Excuse me. And this is quite a nice one as well. This one here on the back. And if you don't know how to draw the back, jump on my YouTube. You'll find my back drawing method. It's actually mine. It's named after me, I have, you know. So if you want to learn that, look up Art Walker back drawing method. I'm going to show you really quickly. Hold on, let me stop this video here.